Hi, my name is David Logan, the IT geek, taking the jargon out of technology. I'm based here in Annan, southwest Scotland, United Kingdom. Here on a sunny day, here to record video number 21 with our co-host, Willie Nicol, or Techno Dinosaur. So Willie, how are you and where are you?
Hi David, I'm very well, thanks. I am Willie Nicol, the life coach, also known as aka the Techno Dinosaur, and I'm based near Troon, South Ayrshire, Scotland, UK.
Brilliant. So today, Willie, today's question is, what is stress and what can cause it?
A very good question, David. We have alluded to stress and related matters in other previous videos, but if we start again from scratch, as it were, stress is a perfectly normal part of life. Stress is the body's reaction to any changes round about them, which require some sort of response. So when circumstances change round about you, your body reacts. If it's a stressful situation, there is the fight or flight response, which I've alluded to earlier, right? But stress normally is okay. It keeps you alert, keeps you motivated, makes you ready for danger, ready for anything. And once the stressful situation disappears, everything's fine. The flip side, however, is that repeated or constant exposure to stressful situations can affect us physically, emotionally, and mentally. Now, the science behind this is what we discussed before, the fight or flight response, is if you're faced with danger, your body automatically kicks in with this response, floods yourself with adrenaline, which makes your heart beat faster, which makes your sight more acute, makes you ready to either run or fight. Another chemical is cortisol, and its function is to suppress bodily functions that are not required for fight or flight. So, for example, it will suppress your immune system or your digestive system because these are not required for fight or flight. However, as I said, under normal circumstances, the stressor disappears, these chemicals go back to normal, and everything's fine. Repeated exposure to stress, however, means these chemicals remain elevated in our bodies, and that's not a good thing. So, exposure to stress constantly is a bad thing.
Okay. So what causes stress?
Well, I think we've all known periods of stress, so we've been stressed. How long is a piece of string? It could be a very important work deadline, a fallout with a friend, road rage, or for example, with me, when my tech doesn't work. So there's all sorts of situations in which you can feel stressed, and it can vary from person to person. One person will get stressed about this, the other won't, and so on. So what causes it? It can be a myriad of things.
Good, good. So can you explain, just going a bit deeper, what are the symptoms of stress? Is it getting temperature? Is it shaking?
Well, as I said before, excess stress can affect us emotionally, mentally, and physically. Excuse me. Emotionally, we can feel overwhelmed, anxious, a bit fuddled, right? Mentally, we can feel ourselves, I'm going to use the word frazzled, and I think you'll know what that means, right? Where you're frazzled, you're uptight, you're, again, anxious, possibly afraid, possibly kind of stuck like a rabbit in the headlights, not knowing what to do. Physically, as I kind of touched on before, we can feel nausea, dizziness, a tightness in our chest, rapid heartbeat. And I think most of us know what the symptoms are, and they're sometimes very unpleasant. So these are a very good indication. So you say to yourself, wait a minute, I'm stressed now, I need to do something about it. So these are kind of basic symptoms.
Mm-hmm. And if this is left unattended and it goes on kind of long term, what's kind of onset of that?
Well, I've
If
explained a
it's
bit.
left unattended?
Yeah. Prolonged periods of stress or repetitive bouts of stress and an inability to address these efficiently. As I've said, the adrenaline will make your heart pump faster, and no one wants a racing heart all the time. The cortisol might affect certain functions within your body, which if it is repeated or constant, can give you all sorts of things. You can go online and find out all sorts of data. Excess stress can lead to mental problems. It can lead to emotional problems, fear, worry, anxiety. And the physical problems are things like as serious as heart attacks, gastric problems. There are all sorts of potentially very unpleasant physical side effects caused by overexposure to stress.
Okay, so I know we've probably covered this just very quickly. How can we recover? How can we relieve the stress?
Yes, we have touched on this before, I think, video number 3 and 4 perhaps. Because we've come so far, it's becoming more difficult to remember. But there are certainly a number of self-help steps you can take. And I'm going to put them in a kind of ascending order, if you like. The first one is talking to someone, talking to a trusted friend or relative. There's the old saying that a problem shared is a problem halved. Right? And sometimes just talk to someone can bring your stress levels down, you feel better. We also talked about breathing exercises, where you can do breathing exercises which calm you down. Because you've heard the saying, when people are stressed, take a deep breath, right? And just the fact of taking a deep breath can kind of break that stress autopilot mode you're in, where it's stress, 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 stress. Take a deep breath and break the cycle, as it were, right? We also touched on exercise, which stimulates the production of endorphins, our body's feel-good chemicals. Then we went on to mindfulness, which is possibly associated, or very often associated with breathing, where you just sit in the moment, break that cycle of stress, and chill. Following on from that, meditation. Now, you don't have to sit cross-legged, make a funny noise. You can just go somewhere quiet and try and calm your head down. Then you can seek interventions, for example, hypnotherapy, which I practice, and take it from there. However, if all of these self-help things don't work, don't ignore it. Don't think your stress is just going to go away by itself. If you've tried all these solutions and they haven't hit the mark, go and see a therapist. Go and see your GP. Go and see someone, right? Because the long-term effects of stress, and you can find this online, can end up being fatal. However, that's a bit doom and gloom, and we don't want to go there. Yes, so in summation, stress is normal. A bit of stress is good for you. Excessive or prolonged or repetitive exposure to stress isn't. I hope that's been useful.
Great. Thank you, Wally. That'll do good for this week. I think we're up to the time here now. So to the viewer, if you feel stressed or you're struggling, as Wally says, don't keep it all in here. Speak to somebody. Find that help. Go for help. Even just having a coffee with somebody or phone either of us. Have a video. We will not bite you. To the viewer though, thank you for watching. As always, we're asking you to go onto our channels. Feel free to reach out to us on these channels, social media, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Videos being uploaded every week. We're looking for 100 subscribers still. We're getting more each week. Waller's got a prize for you. That will come apparent when we get 100 subscribers. So for now, have a good weekend from myself and Molly. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Yes, to everyone, have a good weekend. And once again, keep well, stay safe, have fun. Cheers now.